Hey guys, Brian here for the AW4416 group. Just trying to do a quick little vid here. I was going to think about doing something more elaborate with this, but at the time constraints, don't really have the time right now. Anyway, a number of people have been asking whether or not the AW4416 is capable of doing things such as notch filters and EQ and whatnot. I don't know why the AW doesn't have a notch filter in it, but it can be set up so that you have access to a makeshift one that works pretty much the same. Now, maybe the reason why Yamaha didn't put a notch filter in it is because each one of these banks, or EQ systems, is sweepable from 20 to 20K. And you can stack them all up on each other. Like, let's say I want to run all of them at 4.49 kilohertz. So we can just get them all spun over to 4.49. Let's go ahead and turn off the high pass. Put these at points. We'll just say 0.2 for now. Makes it easy. Or excuse me, 2, not 0.2. What am I thinking? So they're now all set up at the same frequency with the same Q position, whatever the fuck it's called. And we can just dial each one down. And since each one can be cut or boosted by 18 decibels, you pretty much have 72 dB cut there. Now, anybody who claims they can still hear the difference between an actual notch filter and having 72 decibels cut on the frequency that you've selected, I'm going to call bullshit, because I just don't believe it. Anyway, even if this may not be the right way or the perfect setup for you, you can do it another way. Here, the other way to do it is pretty simple. Now just come to the back here and check it out. This is what I like to use to set this up. We have our stereo in and out. We got our Omni outs. All these things can be routed back into the AW's main input board. I personally like to use a standard RCA cable plugged into the stereo ins and outs. So that's what I'm going to do here. We're just going to pop this guy in here, like so. Come around with the other side. Bang, just like that. Then, now we're going to set up our inputs and outputs. Right now, we have, right here, we're going to go to patch out. So here's what I got. We go back into our setup menu, and this is the output. Omni out assigned is still going to be auxiliary 1 through 2, but digital stereo out assigned will be auxiliaries 1 and 2. Alright? So then we head back into the patch in, and I'm just going to set it up right here that channels input 1 and 2 will be our digital stereo, left and right. There we go. So then what we would do is come down into our view section, and we'll just say this track on track 1, we're gonna release it here, just make this simpler. But we're going to say that this is our signal that we want to put the notch filter in. We're going to go ahead and leave it set up to where there's no signal coming out. But we're going to send a signal through channels, or through the auxiliaries 1 and 2. Now to make this easier, I'm going to go into the pan section, And I'm going to go into our routing section for pairing the bus. Pairing the bus right here. So I'm going to go into channel 1 and I'm going to EQ it. What we're going to do is we're going to place a low pass filter on it. And then we're going to sweep it down to what were we at? 4.49, right? So everything below 4.49 we're going to hear. Now we're going to go into channel 2. In channel 2, we're going to put a high pass filter on. And this we're going to bring up to, let's say, 6.72. So that means everything that we're going to hear is going to be from 6.72 kilohertz on up in that channel, and this channel will be from 4.49 kilohertz down. So from 4.49 to 6.72, we've notched out the audio. We won't hear anything from there. This has effectively created a notch filter for the AW. And then when we get ready to put sound in place, we just come back up to our monitor channel, come over here to the auxiliary switches and turn them on to pre's, and start cranking them up until we get the desired level. I got a little spider hanging down on me here. Get out of here, spider. And that'll send the signal out via the outputs in the back, stereo out to stereo in, whatever. And it'll come back in here to channel 1 and channel 2. Like I said, channel 2 there will give us all the signal from 6.72 on up. Channel 1 will give us all the signal from 4.49 on down. Now this kind of technique can also be used to create multi-band compressors and de-essers, and maybe a number of other things. All it requires is that you just set up more channels with filters with low and high pass filters from your EQ system, and then run your dynamics controls for every channel, and you pretty much got it all set up. Anyway, that's a short and simple explanation of how to turn the AW into a system with a notch filter to use on any channel you wish.